This is coming hot off the press. Liverpool fans, you have heard this right. And I know it's not the news that you wanted to hear, but Mohamed Salah, third top scorer for Liverpool, is leaving Liverpool Football Club on a free transfer. One of the most successful players of the modern era, under Jurgen Klopp, leading Liverpool to their Premier League title. We are going to look at the stats of Mohamed Salah at Liverpool and actually discuss the main question that's on everybody's mind. Is Mohamed Salah one of the greatest players to ever grace the Premier League? Hi there, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Two Halves and Two Innings Football Podcast. This one's a special one, as it comes to a shock for many Liverpool fans, and probably the delight of many Man United and Arsenal fans and City fans, that Mohamed Salah is now leaving the Premier League after 9 years, once he signed from 2017, to leaving at the end of this season. An absolute maverick of a player, a legend in the many eyes of Liverpool fans. Rohit, we're here to discuss the impact of Mohamed Salah for Liverpool Football Club. I mean, the news when it came out, I kind of thought, obviously, it was a bit expected, to be fair. I mean, after the mishaps that happened in the earlier stages of the season when they drew to Leeds and he came out in the fan zone and he had that explosive interview where he was saying somebody's trying to throw him under the bus. And, the club has, forsaken me, or there was terms that were agreed and not being fulfilled. I mean, you kind of thought to yourself then that there's no coming back from this, is there? And to be fair,
we knew that, Ajay.
Yeah. And he made his impact, I mean, in the AFCON, and then he came back and it almost felt like everything fizzled away. Then it kind of felt like everything was back to normal. Him and Slot must have had some conversations, and he was back in the starting lineup for a few games. And now all of a sudden he's picked this moment just before the international break to, announce he is leaving Liverpool Football Club. I mean, as an Arsenal fan or just a general football fan, Rohit, I mean, how do you take the news?
See, I'm just talking as a general. He's a fantastic player, right? One of the best players ever to play in the Premier League. So hard to see him go. We want the best players playing in the Champions in the Premier League, but as an Arsenal fan, I'm so happy, man. He scored no goals against us, but obviously he was fading away now. But still, he's a great player. He's a great player for Liverpool. Amazing player. The goals he scored, he won everything available for him. He won everything. He won Champions League, twice Premier League, FA Cup, and then Carling Cup, League Cups as well. So he won everything. He doesn't need to prove anyone. But the most important thing is, what is shocking to me is that he's going for free. He's still got 1 year left in his contract. They could have got 30-40 million for him. If he gone to Saudi, they could have paid 50-60 million for him as well. So, I mean, we knew in the January when he gave his interview in the fan zone, we knew that's it. There's no way coming back from here. But we thought, okay, the things may have sorted, but I think something was brewing up in the background. He wasn't happy. He wasn't getting along with the Slot at all, and Slot wasn't playing him every game. He was coming in through the bench, or he was substituting him, but he was shadow of himself this year. Of himself, right? He wasn't the same Salah we know who Salah can do. But yeah, as a football fan, I'm very sad. But as an Arsenal fan, as an opposition fan, as a competitor fan, I'm happy that he's going.
Yeah, no, as a United fan, I'm glad to see the end back of him, man. I think he's probably the, I don't know, 7th or 8th top scorer at Old Trafford since 2020 or something. Like, he scored so many goals against us, and I've seen that. I've seen the 5-0. I was there at Old Trafford when it was 5-0 or 7-0, and watching that game. And he is just an absolute machine. I mean, he had some of the best seasons when it was under Klopp, and they obviously won that first Premier League title, I think 2019, 2020. And then obviously the Slot's first season, again, he scored many goals to secure the second Premier League title, and obviously in the Champions League as well. I mean, it was a really rubbish final, that Champions League final between Tottenham and Liverpool. It's all about winning the titles, isn't it?
That's it.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
I mean, his stats, 433 appearances and 255 goals, 118 assists. It puts him as Liverpool's third all-time goal scorer. Ian Rush obviously is the one that has the most. But in Premier League games, 309 games, 189 goals, and 92 assists. I mean, that's crazy for a winger.
A winger,
But I think obviously,
exactly.
well, not a traditional winger, you would say. I mean, you'd probably say attacking winger or right forward in many aspects. But that is fantastic numbers,
Yeah.
and I think there's no argument between United fans, Arsenal fans, City fans that Mohamed Salah is probably up there, at least within the top 10,
Yes.
greatest Premier League players, and
Exactly.
especially in the modern era.
Yeah.
You could argue that obviously he's probably been the best.
The best.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, his contribution to the game,
Yeah.
his impact
I,
around Liverpool, obviously to the community. It has been fantastic to see, and obviously when you watch him destroy your team, you got to kind of also put a little bit of respect on him and say, you know what, we're in the presence of somebody great. I mean, when you watch Ronaldo, you used to watch the likes of Paul Scholes or Thierry Henry, Kevin De Bruyne. Eden Hazard. You look at these players and you just take off that badge for a second and you just admire what an absolute fantastic player that is. And I think Mohamed Salah definitely is a
yeah,
definition of
definitely.
that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and obviously, one question obviously asked me was where does he go, and then what do Liverpool do?
Yeah.
What are they gonna replace, or who are they gonna replace him with? Sorry.
But Ajay, do you think, first of all, I think there's the two things in my mind tonight, is one is that basically Liverpool want to get rid of Salah. That's what they agreed to say because of the wages. This is the rumor I heard or I read online, because Liverpool wanted to sell him in January transfer window to fund for Margay and Semenyo. So they wanted Margay and Semenyo, but they could not fund them. They could not buy the money to buy because Salah's wages were too high. So they wanted to get rid of their wages to be in the financial PSR rules, right? So that's why they could not buy Gay and Semenyo. So
Semenyo, yeah.
yeah, so you can see how the things are going on behind the scenes. But Salah he probably said, no, I'm not going. You wanted to sell me, I'm not going. I'm going my own terms. I played for Liverpool for 9 years. At least I deserve that. I don't have to say you have to kick me out. I'll go on my own terms. But guys, like you say, we talked about Ronaldo leaving United, Henry leaving Arsenal, Fabregas leaving Arsenal, Van Persie leaving Arsenal. No one is bigger than the club, right? No one is.
That's very true. Yeah.
A lot of big players come in for every club, and no player is bigger than the club. Club is bigger. So on to your question on what happened with Liverpool. I mean, where would they go now? They have to buy now properly in the summer transfer window. Margay is gone. Semenyo is gone. Who else is available? When I was looking out, they were looking at Bowen. They were looking at even Anthony Gordon. The rumors were coming out. But
yeah, well,
can they replace Salah? I don't think they can.
Yeah, I think if you ask any Liverpool fan, they're going to say it's going to be impossible to replace him.
Yeah,
it's with the numbers that he produced and the impact in games. I mean, this season he has been very terrible, and I was the first one to say it back when we were talking about the summer transfer window with the likes of Isak, Wirtz, Frimpong, Etikite. It was just going to disrupt that whole team, and I think Slot has unfortunately bitten more than he can chew, and he doesn't really know how to get the best out of the players. And that first season that he won the Premier League with Salah, I think basically a lot of the team was just like, we're just going to carry on and do what
this is what they were doing
before.
Exactly.
Yeah, doing before.
Exactly.
So he didn't really implement any great change. But now this season, because he's had an impact on the team because of his signings, which he obviously must have kind of agreed as well, it has really had a negative impact on Mohamed Salah and his stats. I mean, he's only scored, I think, 5 goals or 6 goals this season. And that's really poor, that is. I mean,
it's like Saka
he's had a huge drop-off.
Yeah.
But I mean, to go from 30 plus goals to winning Premier League, Golden Boots and PFA Players of the Years, and he's really had a massive drop off. But what's more kind of, I think, surprising this season has just been his attitude. Like you said, the fan zone, interview, and the fact that obviously if he was saying, "Look, I want to go on my own terms," and the relationship he's built with Slot. I mean, do you think maybe he's regretting it this season? He should have left last season.
Yeah, I think he should have left last season. They should have sold him last season. If they knew this was coming, I don't know why they... Maybe Slot did want to sell him. The Liverpool hierarchy said, no, we're not going to sell him. It's possible. Because managers... If you see manager, why did he buy Isak? Why did he buy Ekitike? Because they are the ones who are going to replace him. So... Potentially.
Yeah. I mean, they were seen more as, I think, Roberto Firmino replacement. It's a case of obviously now where's that right wing role going to come from? Because they're going to look at Jared Bowen. You said obviously they might be looking at Olise from Bayern Munich, but he would come with a heavy price tag. Obviously, I could imagine. So they're going to have to look for a world-class player because I don't feel like
They
you could
have to.
replace him with
Exactly.
like a young player or an academy player because Liverpool don't really have anybody in that right wing position that they could look at.
But I think that's the
And
young player, right, who scored against Newcastle last minute, right?
if
I
you see,
think, but he can
yeah,
come play on the right as well. Actually, he
yeah,
can play on both wings. But I think it's gonna be hard for Olise to. Olise, how can he leave Bayern Munich and then,
I know they're just doing so well.
they're doing so
Yeah.
well as well, and then coming to, and then he's been playing amazingly well. And I think Ekitike can play there as well with Isaac in the center, but they need the depth. I think there's a big
Yeah.
void as well.
I mean, the only
Imagine
player that I can think
Mm,
that comes
mm,
close is like Brian Mbomo. Obviously, you got your left-footed,
yeah,
right, and obviously
yeah,
Nsaka.
yeah,
You
and
know that
Saka,
with the
yeah,
pace, but
yeah.
they need more control. I think with Liverpool,
Mm,
and the problem with Liverpool, I think that they need with the Salah replacement is someone who can do the defensive work as well,
mm.
because their right back situation is shocking at the moment. I don't understand. Like they've got Szoboszlai at right back, they've got Frimpong at right back, they put
As the
Gravenberch
injured,
at right back
yeah.
or Jones at right back. So the problem is that you've got good attacking forward right back, but then the right winger doesn't come back, and that's what
See,
Salah's problem's always been. He never tracks back.
yeah, but
So
this is so the last season. Why he played well last season was he had Trent behind him, and Trent was so good in finding him and giving him
oh yeah,
pass.
definitely.
So that's why Salah said, that's my strength. That's why I'm going to go in. And then they had better players to actually defend on the right side. This year, I don't know what changed. Maybe that, like you said, Slot changed the whole strategies. That this is how we're gonna play, and actually disrupted the whole team.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I think with Liverpool's problems this season has been a case of they've been very leaky in defence. I mean, Konate's not had a good season, and the likes of like Gravenberch and McAllister, they've not been able to kind of cover the midfield as well as they used to before. And Szoboszlai has kind of been moved in different
But
positions, so he's
that's what
not been as
happens.
effective.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not been as effective as he's been before. And again, Liverpool's bench hasn't been strong. You know, like the likes of Curtis Jones. They got
injuries.
rid of Harvey Elliott. They
Yeah,
got rid of Luis Diaz. They got rid of
Luis Diaz,
Nunes. They got
Nunes
rid.
as well. Yeah,
So they're like a really good pressing
yeah.
machine. To be fair, so they lost a lot of legs in their substitute
Rem-
bench. So
Remember, remember when somebody mocked Nunes and Diaz on Twitter, and he said, "Guys, respect the holders.
yeah,
They
Mohamed
won
Salah
the
said
Premier
yeah,
League."
yeah,
I think he missed them too much. I think that's the thing. He needed a
yeah.
player like Mane and Firmino to give him balls, to make runs for him, to make space for him. That's what he missed. In this team, no one is doing it for him. That's why
Yeah,
he's not able to score that many goals this year.
and the psychological effect of obviously losing
Yeah,
Diego Jota
losing
as well
Jota as well.
probably
Yes, indeed.
is
Yeah, I
huge
think it
and
was close.
unprecedented,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you can never really put a price or a metric on how that has an impact on
yeah, yeah,
teammates
yeah.
and
Of
players.
course. Yeah.
But I think looking at Mohamed Salah's career as a whole, I mean,
Mm.
like I said, fantastic player. I mean, I've had this debate with one of my Liverpool mates. Is he the best
He's
right
better than.
winger? If you were to make a Premier League 11 starting 11, is it him or is it Ronaldo? And obviously, me with my Man United hat on, I'm obviously going to say Cristiano Ronaldo. But it's hard to
But
compare the two. I think they both came to the Premier League in very different stages of their career. If you look at Mohamed Salah, he was already with Chelsea, and then he didn't make it under Jose, so then he was sold to Roma. And he was about 25, 26 by the time he re-signed to Liverpool. So he was already in his prime. He was in a good physical position. He started off a bit shaky, but then after 2 seasons with Klopp, I was absolutely smashing it. And Ronaldo, remember, started off at 18, and
yeah,
only had
he was too young.
5, 6
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
seasons. And
yeah.
his peak was when he was then sold to Real Madrid. So the impact or the argument between Ronaldo and Salah is always going to be there with people swaying one way or the other. But for me, if I had to put my impartial hat on, I would have to say that probably in terms of impact on the Premier League and more recent impact, I would probably say that Mohamed Salah probably does make it past Cristiano Ronaldo. And that's hard for me to say because I love
Mm,
Ronaldo. And Ronaldo
yeah.
did it twice, remember? I mean, Ronaldo came back at
But
30
if you
odd
see, but
to
if you
become
just
United's
focus
top
on
goal
Ajay,
scorer on that season.
if you just focus on Premier League, Salah is miles better than Ronaldo. If you just focus on Premier League, I know there is a context because Ronaldo's were really early years, and
Yeah.
Salah's were like later years, right? But if we just say, if you take out that age, take out the thing, and if you see, Ronaldo won the Champions League as well. Ronaldo won many Premier Leagues. Ronaldo won League Cup. Ronaldo won FA Cups.
Ronaldo won everything as well, yeah.
Exactly. So they won everything. But even if you say Salah has better goals per game, more assists, right? More consistent peak output as well. So so I think Salah is miles better if you just focus on the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, like you said, because in terms of his if in terms of peak performance and over cross seasons, he's been more consistent, more better.
Yeah.
Like I said, had Ronaldo, stayed another 3-4 seasons, and had we won maybe another Champions League and another 2 titles, I think that would probably end the debate. I think Ronaldo, for many United fans, just left 1 or 2 seasons premature. Like, we just wanted to have him for another 1 or 2 seasons, and I think it would have made us more happier, the fact that he obviously got sold. But again, I mean, that debate will always go on. And some people will say Ronaldo was better because obviously he had a Ballon d'Or. Salah had never got a Ballon d'Or. And then people will look at it with rose-tinted lenses that Ronaldo played against harder defenders. It was a harder game back then. Tackles were going in left, right, and centre. He was playing as a traditional winger under or behind the likes of Van Nistelrooy. Partnership with Rooney and Tevez.
Yeah.
So he had to share a lot of the goals that he could have scored because he could have taken penalties. Rooney would have taken free kicks. Van Nistelrooy would have taken penalties. So Salah was the top dog for Liverpool. I mean, aside with Mane and Firmino, they were really good. I mean, obviously, but that never takes away the fact that Salah has been a fantastic player, and again, Liverpool's best player in the last decade or two.
What about Salah versus Henry?
2 different players, 2 different positions. Henry, actually, but to be fair, Henry started as a winger, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think Henry was a left winger, and then he transitioned into striker. But I mean, I was listening to TalkSport, and they were obviously talking about Mohamed Salah and where does he fit in? Like, is he, top striker? But I think Thierry Henry, I think he's a bit better. I think Thierry Henry is probably one of the best Premier League.
Yeah, as a complete player, we can say, right? So
I mean, goals scored.
Yeah, goals scored.
Premier League titles. I think he's won 3 Premier League titles.
2, I think 2.
So 2.
Yeah.
2 Premier League titles.
He
Champions League, unfortunately, with Barcelona.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. The Premier League was
World
harder
Cup,
then,
Euro,
and
so he's won all.
Yeah, but then obviously Salah's done an AFCON, and I'm sure he's won accolades in his national team. So it's always hard to kind of put players like Thierry Henry up against Mohamed Salah. I'd probably like to compare Mohamed Salah with like Harry Kane. 2 players that playing in a similar
contemporary,
era,
playing in the same era.
Yeah, the same era, and obviously Harry Kane did it in a struggling team.
Yes.
Mohamed Salah did it in a struggling Liverpool team at the beginning, but then
but they made him better.
They made him better. So you have to look at in that context.
Yeah.
So you look at Harry Kane, you look at Mohamed Salah. I would probably put again with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, because these are more your newer Premier League style attacking midfielders or attacking players who you could possibly say that, you can put them up against each other.
Art of defending is going out of Premier League. Now we're saying coming back because of Arsenal. So so let's see who scores more goals now from now on.
Who can get more corners and who can get more set pieces, to be fair. But I mean, Liverpool will miss him. But I feel like Liverpool will be stronger. They'll have to obviously transition. I think next season it will be a big miss. But it depends on who like you said, who they fill that role with. Are they going to go for a Premier League proven winger like Anthony Gordon, Jared Bowen? That could be a very good fit. Did they look for a young winger, or did they look at somebody who's more experienced and on the international stage?
Up. Yeah.
But I think it'll be from the World Cup. I think Liverpool will look at the World Cup and see who performs really well. And I think they'll probably base it on that.
Let's see, interesting summer coming up. Interesting summer. It's a big news though. Salah's leaving, but I'm happy to see him.
I'm happy. I'm thrilled.
Imagine if he goes to PSG and win the Champions League, making them more stronger. Oh, let's see.
Yeah. I mean, I see the Saudi or MLS
I think
being a destination for him because it depends on the geopolitical situation, what happens in the next few months, and then obviously maybe something like MLS might be a bit appealing. Obviously, if the money's there,
Messi and Salah. Wow. Let's see.
I mean, the MLS is growing, and taking quite a few players. So there's some strong players in the MLS. But let's see. Honestly, it's been an interesting topic, and obviously with Mohamed Salah, the debate will be, guys, is he one of the greatest? Is he in the all-time Premier League 11? Is he better than Ronaldo? So, guys, please do comment on your thoughts. If you're a United fan or just generally any fan, is he better than Ronaldo? But guys, it's been a good conversation. Rohit, thank you so much again. Please do drop a comment and do drop a like, and most importantly, a subscription. A subscribe to the channel would be fantastic. And again, thank you for our sponsors at Davis Optometrist as well. Guys, we will catch you on the next one. It's going to be an international break, so it's going to be a little bit of a time before we get back onto the Premier League. But obviously, England are playing their friendlies, so we'll see obviously how well the England starting 11 looks under Thomas Tuchel. Some surprising exclusions. No Trent, no Luke Shaw, but some good call ups. For like Calvert-Lewin.
I'm happy Arsenal players are
Lewis
not
Hall.
playing. I'm just happy.
Yeah, right. I was just saying, what's happened to your boys? They seem to have dropped off.
That's why we got our inner Manchester United out. We think we're gonna take our players out like Sir Alex used to do. Guys, leave it. Come on, come back. Well.
Oh my God, Eze suddenly developed a hamstring injury.
No, but Eze is actually out for weeks. That's sad news for us, man. One player comes in, other player goes out. It's so sad.
Yeah, you guys can't keep your bloody 11 fit, honestly. Yeah. You need to sort out your medical team. But anyway, we will digress. That will be another conversation.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
But you guys, catch you on the next one. Thank you again.
I was in a good mood, Ajay. Now you made me talk about our injuries.
Yeah, Royce just remembered. But then you can't be upset because then if they're not playing, then they can't get injured. So hopefully they'll be fine then. So, I mean, last time there was an international break, didn't Gabriel get injured? And you were screaming. You were like, why has he done that?
Why has he done that? Exactly.
Yeah. No, you guys got an important 6-7 games left of the season anyway. So yeah, let's see how that goes. But we will catch you back. Hopefully, maybe reviewing the international matches, or we will catch you back on the Premier League stage. So, yes, guys, thank you again for watching, and please take care. Good night.